All right, hey, I'm Steven with Gruen, Missouri, and Create a Great State, and we are on the airship today. I'm talking with David and Mats. Guys, thank you so much for taking a few minutes and talking with us.
Very welcome.
You're on a busy schedule right now, flying all over the countryside in Missouri.
Yep.
And so, first things first. I mean, this is your beast here that we're on. What do we absolutely? I just walked on the airship.
Yep.
What's the first thing I need to know?
You've got a lovely cabin here, spacious, nice seats, and you've got a tremendous view. Wherever we go, you've got a lovely view. And Missouri's been as nice as we've ever seen. It's been beautiful.
Oh man, well,
especially later in the month, the trees have changed for us as well. So we got, it was all green initially, just acres and acres and acres of green. Now it's acres and acres of the autumn colours. Beautiful.
Yeah, you got to see the full spectrum. You got to see summer. And move into fall, and now we were just talking. It's turning into winter, and you guys don't really have any heat access here. There's
no heat here.
Blankets there in the back.
The last couple of days have been cold.
Yeah.
So it's time to move south, like the snowbirds or whatever it is. Like we fly south. We saw the geese the other day. We saw thousands of geese. They were going south. We should be joining them.
You guys kind of migrate with the geese.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Flying formation with the geese the other day.
Fantastic. So. Speaking of flying up, about how fast, how fast do you guys move from point A to point B generally?
We're normally flying 30, 35 knots. It's about, say 35 miles an hour then is what the speed we're doing. Okay. Which is, we've got the ground crew to travel with us, so we generally go faster than they do. So even point to point, 35 knots, we'll do a bit better than they will.
Wow.
So.
And that's very different. I mean, I was kind of joking earlier. You look it up in the sky, it looks like a big toy. It's like a big toy and you're walking, but it's definitely not. I mean, it's very precise, very complex piece of equipment. It's not like a plane. It's not a helicopter. I mean, it's completely different. So
it's different.
What's different
it's
about
for us, it's a toy, isn't it? It's like a big toy. It's like our family as well. We got to look after it. It looks after us, and we fly around the country looking after it, and it looks after us, and we get good views as a reward, don't we, Mats? Yeah.
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 It's the operation of an airship involves more people because we have a ground crew. An airplane, it's more of a turnkey operation. Here we have a team of close to 20 people that we have to coordinate and operate. So although we fly 35 knots through the air, for practical reasons we generally don't do more than 250 miles in a straight line if you want to go from A to B, because we're relying on our crew doing the same distance as we do, and they have to travel on the road.
Yeah, because somebody's got to reach up and grab that rope when you guys land.
In the end, that's it. Yeah, they've got to put the mast up, tie the mast truck down, and look after us. Yeah, do the fuel replenishment and stuff. Yeah.
And even right now, we're floating around. I don't know if they can see in the camera, but we're kind of floating around in a circle right now. The wind's blowing us, and we're technically flying right now.
We're off the ground quite often. The wind, it's a very strong wind today, so yeah, we're off the ground quite often, and we're moving left to right continually. It's a gusty day, which is why we're not flying.
Yeah.
So you got us on the ground as opposed to in the air.
Well, just kind of a quick background question. I mean, you guys have been doing this for quite a while, is my understanding. I mean, this has been part of skyships, airships, and this one in particular for a while now, right?
Yeah, I've been sort of 32 years history in the company that designed and built these particular machines. And Matt,
I come from a slightly different background, but I've been working with airships since essentially 1979.
Yeah. So what is your background? How do you end up? I mean, you're in the middle of Missouri in the winter, staying on an airship talking to me. How did you end up here?
Not by design. I studied aeronautical engineering in a university in Sweden, and I started working as a designer and engineer at a company in the UK with balloons and airships. And that's from the engineering side. I started flying them. David comes from a background of fixed wing flying, commercial airliners and things like that. We sort of converged into airships. Again, it wasn't a clear career choice for me. It was just it's the way it's worked out. But I've been doing it for
over 30 years again.
Years.
Yeah.
Wow.
In one shape or form.
So we're talking nearly 100 years of flight expertise gathered together
for the three of us. Yeah.
And I'm sure that can be fun. I'm sure that you guys probably never argue about anything.
We bitch all the time.
We don't argue. Yeah. But we all have, each of us has just over 30 years experience of airships, I think, which is, there's a lot of experience, you know, cumulative in here. Trevor and I mostly with this type, but in other types as well, and Matt's most of other types, but coming into this type, so it's all valid stuff.
Okay.
And we've been all around the world, so we've seen we've seen all sorts of weathers and all sorts of things and all sorts of experiences.
And so, in your experience here, I mean, in Missouri, this is your first time being to Missouri.
Yep.
And you've been here for 2 months.
Yep.
What's your impression? I mean, you're flying around with everywhere you go, there's a billboard up here that says "Gromo, create a great state." What do you think? What do we need to do in your experience the last couple months? What do we need to do to make Missouri a better state?
Well, the potential's here. The scenery, you've got the land, you've got I'm sure the labour force here. We haven't dealt with many of the labour force here, but obviously going out and about, talking to people, and in restaurant stuff, there's some lovely people here. You know, you've got space. You've got the weather, the environment, the street accent,
They all talk real funny, huh?
They do that. We've got lovely on the rivers, I mean, beautiful. It's a lovely state, it really is. It ranks up at the top. I mean, it's as good as anywhere I've seen in the States. And many places around the world. All the resources are here.
Fantastic. Well, we're awful proud of it, and it's a pleasure to have you guys join us for a while. We really appreciate everything you've done for us.
We've loved it.
And flying around. Now, one last question. I mean, over the years, and maybe even in Missouri, you got any stories for us? You got a story for us about the airship?
Story? Nothing I could tell you on air. I don't think. No, I have to get all the good stuff is not for publication.
Okay. Okay. We'll turn the camera off and we'll talk.
That's it.
Guys.
Yeah.
David, thank you for
talking.
talking.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
very much. It's been a real pleasure. We've had good fun.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys.